Welcome back. We're talking to Meg Jacoby of Jacoby Insurance and Health Insurance. So Meg, I want to talk now about the companies that are actually in the marketplace. Can you tell us in Montana which companies actually sell on the healthcare.gov?
Absolutely. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield, Montana Health Co-op, and Pacific Source.
Oh, okay. So it's not a long list.
No.
Okay. So can you tell us what kinds of health care services are covered under these plans?
Yes. So all of the plans are going to offer the same essential benefits, and that is a mandate by the healthcare.gov. And they cover your outpatient services, which is your doctor and outpatient care, emergency services, hospitalization, which would include surgery and overnight stays, maternity, including pregnancy and newborn care, mental health and behavioral health, substance abuse, prescription drugs, rehabilitative services, lab services, preventive and wellness care.
Wow, that's quite a list. So do any of the companies go beyond and offer services beyond what you just listed there?
Yes, some of those do go above and beyond and offer some added benefits, but not all of them do the same types of things.
Okay.
There are some of them out there that are offering wellness incentives.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of a nice benefit then. So
Yeah,
you have those options to
Yes.
look at and choose from.
Yes.
Okay, so for the essential health benefits, do they have deductibles or co-pays that people are going to be responsible for? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, every one of them has a deductible maximum out of pocket. Some of them also have co-pays available too. So what a deductible is if they have a plan that is applying the service towards a deductible first, that is the first dollar that is going to be paid, and it will be paid by the individual. Okay. So it could be a $3,000 deductible, and then after they have the deductible, they may pay a co-insurance, which is the percent, which could be an 80-20. You would pay the 20%, the insurance company might pay the 80%, up until the point you would hit a maximum out of pocket. So the maximum out of pocket is the most that that person would pay in that calendar year for covered services. That would include everything that is paid by that person, to include prescription drugs, doctor, hospital, outpatient, all that would apply to it.
Okay. So if somebody needed to take a deeper dive into a particular plan, is that something that you could help them understand what they would need to do?
Most of the plans out there now have higher deductibles than what has been seen in the past, and it's very eye-opening for people when they come in and they say, oh my gosh, the lowest cost plan I have is $6,550 deductible. It's a eye-opening experience for them, and that's why it's important to talk to somebody who does understand these benefits.
Okay, great advice. I want to kind of switch gears a little bit here, because we always hear the term in-network and out-of-network provider. Can you tell us how that applies, or whether it does apply for these types of plans?
Absolutely. So an in-network provider has a contractual agreement with the insurance company to provide those services at a better cost for the person. So if they go into the hospital and that hospital is a participating hospital with the insurance company, they will not be balance billed for anything above and beyond what the cost of care would be. Out of network means there is not a contractual relationship, and they will be paying a higher cost out of their pocket. It could also mean they have a separate higher deductible and a separate higher maximum out of pocket.
Okay, that's really good information to know. Another piece of or another service that people are usually really interested in are coverage of drugs under the plans. Are they covered, or how would people go about finding about drug coverage under a certain plan?
Most of the plans offer prescription drug coverage, but not all of them offer a flat dollar copay. And that's something we didn't talk about earlier. A copay is a flat dollar amount that would be paid for a service or a prescription drug.
Okay.
Now with the prescription drugs, they're usually put into tiers. Tier 1 would be a preferred generic, Tier 3 would be a preferred brand, Tier 5 might be a high-end specialty drug. So depending upon the tier could either trigger a certain copay, or if it's a drug that applies to a deductible, they need to be aware of those up front. Now some prescription drugs require pre-authorization. We encourage people to pick a drug that is on the list so they don't have to go through that special authorization process, but some even approved drugs have to be pre-authorized due to the cost of those medications.
Okay. Wow, you've given us a lot of information. So if somebody sifts through all of that and they've chosen a plan, what tips would you give people? What is the first thing they should do after they have chosen the plan?
Well, after they choose the plan, first, of course, they want to make sure their coverage gets activated, so they have to pay their premium. If paperwork is required to be submitted, they have to do that within 30 days to prove they are eligible for that coverage, which would mean loss of other group coverage. And then enjoy the benefits of the plan. Read the documents. Most people get that information in the mail and they put it in the the round file, or they just put it away, but it's important to actually understand what those benefits are. Take advantage of the preventive medicine benefits that are out there, because those are good things for people to have, and most of those are no cost to that person.
Thanks so much, Meg. You've given us a tremendous amount of really informative information that will be helpful, I'm sure.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up, our next guest will talk to us about how to make the most of our insurance once we have it. Stay back with us. We'll be right back after these breaks.